What's up, guys? Miguel here with Diamondbackshootingsports. We have a special guest, Ian McCollum from Forgotten Weapons channel. We're here today to talk about his FAL, really cool FAL build that we did with him. Ian, what inspired you to do this style of FAL?
Honestly, I feel like this is as much your FAL as it is my FAL. Like Diamondback in general, you guys put so much cool work into this thing. It's amazing. So the rifle started as a super cool gun from DSA. They manufactured 10 titanium receivers for FALs. It was a project that they got their hands on the material and they made 10 and they never want to touch it again. Apparently it was such a pain working with the material,
Right.
dealing with the cutting, like all of it. And they had 12 and 2 of them got scrapped in the manufacturing
Right.
process. They end up with 10. And I managed to finagle one of them.
Yes.
So the gun's built to be lightweight because you want to exploit the fact that it in fact has two major titanium parts, the upper receiver and the muzzle device, actually, also titanium. They experimented with some other parts, ended up like nothing else was worth the pain. Like the weight savings weren't worth the pain of manufacturing some of the other titanium parts.
Right.
Some people I've had a number of people look at this and go, well, if it's supposed to be like a super light, handy build, why doesn't it have a folding stock? And the answer is the hinge mechanism on the folding stock for the FAL weighs a lot more than the hardware for the fixed, hollow, plastic, regular stock.
Right, of course.
So the lightweight solution here is actually a fixed stock, which I think is fine. I think they look cool. It's a 16 or an 18-inch barrel, standard profile barrel. It's not a thin down, it's not a lightweight barrel.
Right.
There aren't any of sort of the typical lightweight sketchy modifications that were done. It does have an aluminum lower, which kind of like...
It's strong.
Yeah, you don't... It's kind of like an AR lower.
Right.
It's not a stress bearing component. You don't want an aluminum upper, but on a FAL, aluminum lower is just fine. Saves a little weight there. Short barrel saves a little weight. And they went ahead and gave it a fixed rear sight.
Yes.
Which is both saves a little bit of weight, not much, but a little bit, and it's a cool part.
It looks good too.
Yeah. Plastic charging handle, little things like that. In fact, they sent it to me with an aluminum magazine as well.
Huh.
Because FN actually made both steel and aluminum mags for the FAL. The original FAL paratrooper guns had aluminum magazines just to save weight.
Right.
So they're hard to find now. They're kind of cool. And they're really fragile. They're aluminum. It's very easy to dent up aluminum feedlets.
Right.
Anyway, I get this gun, and it's obviously a really special gun. And I want to do something cool with it. But what do you do to best exploit that sort of cool gun and make it even better?
Yeah.
Not do something cool that's, contrary to the design intent. So there were three things I wanted to do with it. One was make it look cool. Like it needs some sort of cool custom Cerakote job on it. Number two, I'm left-handed and I want a left-handed safety. And it can't just be an ambidextrous safety, which is out there. The problem is with the FAL, between the grip and the safety lever, if you're left-handed, the top of your trigger finger knuckle hits the safety and it'll occasionally bump it out of the fire position. Like it doesn't move up a whole notch, but all it has to do is bump that little bit out of the detent.
And it'll engage.
And it engages the safety. Yeah. And that's, I want to use this in a match, many matches, hopefully. And I don't want to be in the middle of a course of fire and have it go bang, 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 because I've accidentally engaged the safety with my knuckle. So we need a left-handed safety. And that is not a trivial thing to do on a FAL.
No.
You can speak to how not trivial that is.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, like the actual lever that you push has all of the detent hardware built into it.
It does. It's a cup and detent, yeah.
And the whole thing has to be able to come out the left side of the gun, no matter what, because that's how unless you like redesign the entire fire control mechanism, which we don't need to get into that. So yeah, that was I knew that was going to be a non-trivial project.
Yes.
I didn't know quite how bad or how not terrible it would be, but. So you guys did that, and that was a major thing for me. That's really the only left-handed modification I need to a FAL. The ejection pattern is fine. The charging handle is fine. And then I wanted to put an optic on it.
Number 3, yeah.
Because if I'm going to be shooting it in a competition, the iron sights are cool, but I want it to be a little more practical. Now, there's no really good way to put an optic on a FAL. DSA makes a good solid top cover mount, but it weighs,
a lot.
If I remember, like 12 pounds.
Yeah.
Maybe not 12 pounds. It's heavy. It's a big solid chunk of steel. It's got like 6 set screws that lock it into the receiver.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way that you can make a really stable top cover on a FAL. You may notice, if you dig into the history of the FAL and its military use, there aren't a lot of designated FAL snipers. Like, there's some countries that made them, but they were never really very successful because everyone's putting an optic on this sheet metal top cover, which isn't particularly stable.
No.
The British, when they put the Trilux optics on, they added little tabs to the back to try and lock the top cover in better, and it kind of did, but I knew this was not going to be a precision rifle with an optic. And so the thought was, I want a red dot. How do we put a red dot on a FAL? One option is get rid of the rear sight and put some sort of little tiny, like, pistol red dot mount on the rear sight. But there's no, like, you know what would look cool? A Bushnell holosight would just look very cool. Has a neat, swoopy, sort of like retro futuristic look to it, which fits a 1950s battle rifle. So there are Argentine scope mounts that are out there that are not that hard to get. They're not that expensive. And so I got one of those. The problem is it's set up for Stanag scope mounts, which is a very specific, it's not Picatinny rail.
No.
It is the standardized NATO scope mount pattern from, I don't know when they standardized it, but probably the 60s.
It felt like that when I was working on it.
Yeah.
It felt old.
It's 2 screws. Like, it's a set of brackets and 2 very specifically spaced screws. And you'll find old school, usually like 4-power Hensoldts that have these fixed bases on them that take 2 screws like that. And they're the NATO pattern scopes. It's the HK claw mounts use the exact same attachment method. This was Argentinian. They're not in NATO, but Argentinian top cover. And you guys took that and milled down the original mounts and attached a chunk of actual Picatinny rail.
That's right. Yeah, we originally wanted to machine Picatinny into the actual scope base itself, but we found that after a lot of measuring, it wasn't going to take. So we went to Plan B and we machined a piece of pick rail to meet up flush with the original mount. Drilled and tapped it, and just really beveled everything to make it look factory. After the Cerakote, you can't even tell.
Oh, it looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks great. And then we can drop an optic on it.
Yep.
So we went with the Bushnell holosight, just honestly because it looks cool. I don't need magnification on this thing because I know it's not going to hold zero great. It's red dot within, I haven't done any long range shooting with the thing yet, but I think it'll be great at 50 yards. I think it'll be fine at 100, and I think it'll start to probably lose effectiveness at 200.
Right. So yesterday on the range, we shot it at 35 yards. It was zeroed.
It was dead on.
As we mounted it on C-zone size steel, and it stayed zeroed the whole time.
Yep. So why do I come to Diamondback for gunsmithing? It is frankly because the gunsmiths here have proven, to my surprise, to be actual awesome gunsmiths. Usually when your local medium-sized town gun shop has a gunsmith, it's the guy whose job is mounting scopes and cleaning guns and maybe assembling an AR from parts. And that's what I expected. And boy, I can't remember what the first gun that I brought into you guys was.
I think the first project that we did was mounting a NIDAR.
Yes.
NIDAR optic to a Remington 11?
Remington 11, yeah.
Yeah.
To make actually a not totally different than this sort of retro futuristic concept. Yeah. But I brought that in here because I was like, I've got a scope from the 40s that's intended to be mounted on shotguns. Like, I don't do gunsmithing myself. I used to, I don't now. I don't have the tools. I don't have the time to do it. But like, it's actually literally mounting a scope. So I can mount a scope project to gun shop gunsmith and at least see if it's something they can do. And I brought it in here, and they're like, oh, that's super cool, and knocked it out. I'm like, oh, you're actually gunsmiths. Like, you have machine tools here. You can cut metal, not just like put on scope rings. And so then I got a little more like, oh, you did that. What do you think you could do to this? And I brought in some repair projects that are unusual. And it's been fantastic. Miguel and his compatriots here have done an amazing job, like knocking out projects that I'd put aside essentially forever because I didn't think it would ever be feasible to get someone to deal with them.
Yeah, and I can't take a lion's share of all of that credit because Kevin, my mentor, is amazing with a mill and a lathe. So combined with his experience, he just he can see how it's supposed to go and make it happen through design and fabrication, from drawings to mill. It's amazing to see. Things like the Calico cheek pistol.
That's right. I forgot entirely about that.
He made
the cheek pistol mount on the Calico from scratch.
Yeah, just from a drawing and an idea.
Yeah, not a real drawing, just like here's a napkin with what I have in mind. Yeah. So yes, it's been a fantastic place to be able to bring weird projects and get some truly one-of-a-kind guns.
Like this.
Yeah. I sent a picture to DSA. They're like, we have ambi safeties. Because I sent them the left side. I'm like, yeah, it's a left-hand safety. And they're like, we have ambis. I flipped it over and I sent them another picture. I'm like, it also doesn't have a right-hand safety anymore.
Yeah, so you couldn't use the DSA one because the detent's still on the left side, and there's no detent on the right side.
Right.
Yep. So this is why we had to go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah. Which makes sense for DSA. Like, if you're going to do an ambi, don't do the extra work.
Right.
Just put a lever on the other side.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. But we had to have the detent be switched to the other side, which included a lot of machine work, a lot of alignment, a lot of geometry work to make it actually function and not fall out of the gun or come apart. This left-sided safety is tongue and grooved and drilled and tapped. But it was a lot of guess and check work to make the geometry for that tongue and groove work correctly and still be safe.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That is a system that could certainly be duplicated, but will never be a drop-in part that you order off midway and just on your own gun.
There's no way. There's no way, because it's still functionally a right-handed safety that has been modified to be left-handed, and it is. There's a lot of hours put into just that piece alone.
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one kind of came out of nowhere with the titanium FAL base. That to me was a gun that needs to be special. In fact, one of the funny things is they had one of these titanium guns at SHOT Show on the rack above a couple other things, and I don't think anybody actually looked at it because it looked like a totally standard 18-inch fixed stock FAL. And nobody noted, unless you picked it up. If you pick it up and you realize, oh, geez, this thing weighs 7 pounds and it's a full-size FAL. But nobody picked it up because it didn't look cool. It just looked, that's DSA. Oh, look, their T48 pattern. We'll take a look at that. And so this gun needed something to show off what was hiding underneath.
That's how they introduced the gun to me. It's like, hold this. It's like, oh, what's this? I got really strong all of a sudden.
So when I had to figure out, like, what camo pattern should I ask for on this gun? Because I can change out the optic, like, easy, on a whim. I cannot change the Cerakote job on the gun. And I thought about it for a little while. I want something that's going to look cool in the southern Arizona environment. You know, we're here in the Sonoran Desert. I don't want, like, M81 woodland, because it'll just look out of place. And I like desert camo-ish things. What's appropriate to a FAL, to a sort of retro-futuristic FAL, and beyond those two, what's just going to look cool? I don't want a lame camo pattern on it. Like, We're not doing UCP on this thing. I want something cool. And I dug through like Camopedia and a bunch of other references, and I came down to the early 1950s Bundesgrenzschutz camo. This, I believe it's Sumpftarn, that the German border guards used very early in, like before the Bundeswehr was actually formed. You know, after World War II, the Allies are like, no German military forces in, no, we're done with that.
This again.
But they let them have a border guard, because otherwise the French and the Americans would have to do all the work. And they're like, well, you can have border guards. And the border guards set up with, well, Mausers at the time, but it is actually the German border guards that are the first to adopt the FAL in Germany. They look at the SETME, it's not really ready for prime time, so they adopt the FAL. And then there end up being problems getting licensing to make the FAL in Germany for the whole army, and that's why they go back to eventually the G3. But I'm thinking, like, what if the Bundesgrenzschutz keeps its FALs, and they, by, I don't remember the date, sometime in the mid or late 50s, maybe even early 50s, they got rid of the camo because they wanted to look a little less militaristic and went to just sort of olive drab uniforms. But what if they keep it? And with all the tan elements, this, like the tan and the brown, I feel like this is a good match for Sonoran Desert, and it looks cool and it's obscure. Like, it checked all the boxes. The problem was it's super complicated, especially with the raindrop elements. And so I came in here with this rifle figuring I'm pretty confident in the mechanical elements. Like, I know the guys can handle that. This camo is like my stretch on this thing. Is this even possible to Cerakote this? It was 5 layers, 6 layers on there.
The paint itself is only 4 layers. The intricate part is the laser work for the dashes, the raindrops. But like you were saying, it matches really well with the desert. It was a fun project. It's I don't want to do it again, but it's and it's not that it was
Miguel
difficult.
Doesn't want to do the safety again either.
It's not that it was difficult. It was a lot of fun. It was just time consuming. I can only do certain sections at a time, and there was a lot of elevation changes for the laser. So I had to pick a focal point, and I like the variations. That was a really nice plus. I didn't have to redo anything. But since it's focused at one, there's some spots that will vary in intensity, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of staring at my computer too. But the paint was awesome. I enjoy doing paint, but the laser work was very time consuming.
Makes sense. It didn't even occur to me that you would be using the laser on it. Yeah. But I don't really know much at all about
future,
doing Cerakote.
like the holo sight.
And in fact, that's your holosite too, or it was.
Yeah.
I came in here with this concept of, I think a holosite would be cool, but I don't have one. Like, does the shop ever get in holosites? And Miguel was like, Roman actually like just got one. Like, he might be willing to sell it to you.
It's one of those things. I love the old optics. It's kind of, I think they're fun. They look cool, and this is the perfect application for something like this. It looks futuristic, and it's a what if, like you were describing. It's perfect. I love putting newer old optics on stuff that shouldn't have optics on. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's why we have guns. It's to play with.
So, thank you very much.
Yeah,
for
of
that
course.
work. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Actually, so when we went out to the range, Miguel texted me. He's like, bring FAL mags and ammo. And my expectation was, oh, cool, he's got the mechanical stuff done. I assumed I was going to have to come in and talk to you for a while and get some more samples of, here's the camo I'm looking at. And no, he opens the case and it's completely done.
It was funny. Awesome. He was driving me hard for like a week and a half. Like, is it done? Is it done? So I'm working on it. But it's nice because I got to just stay up here in the shop area. So thank you, Miguel. It was a lot of fun. Let's do another one.
Okay. Like, hey, I'm sold, man. If you can pull off that, sky's the limit.
Yes.
I want to see other people bring in commissions for you, because I want to.
No, I want
to see the gallery of all the other people's cool ideas that.
And that's the thing. It gets really monotonous to do, flat dark earth, or M81. I love M81. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of M81. I love spray painting stuff too. But when it's something like this, where it's a whole vision, where it's a little, okay, I'm going to throw a holo sight on it, and it's very specific camo for this very specific what if, it's awesome. It's just like, it's why we do this stuff. I mean,
It's like you're an artist who takes pride in his work.
it's fun.
I don't know that there's a whole lot more to say about this rifle. I have started taking it out to shoot, and I look forward to doing a whole bunch more with it. It is very cool to have a shop like Diamondback that can do this kind of work. Like, it was such a surprise to me to discover like the actual capabilities of you guys and the whole crew.
Appreciate it.
So thank you very much for taking the time to do this.
Of course. And the best part, he's going to shoot it a lot. Shoot your guns.